Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of This Takes the Cake. My name's Caroline Green.
My name's Dallas Vickers.
And we're back at it again.
We're back.
We're back.
The duo is back.
Your favorite
Last
two people.
podcast we did together, I'm sorry. We're going to try to be better this time.
I think we just get collectively dumb when we're together.
I think so. No.
I think so.
It's silly. Silly. But this time we're going to be complaining. So, like, that's one of the best things.
We love to do that.
That's one of the things we're really good at. So
yeah. Ranting. Bitching and moaning.
Today we're going to be talking about the importance of communication with vendors. We know a lot about this. This is pretty much all we do every day in office.
Literally.
Like people don't know what we do every day, and like they're like, oh, like why do you need office hours? Like why do you need 8 hours a day?
It's like 80% communicating with vendors and 20% on the field wedding day.
On the field.
Yeah, like
80% backstage practice.
Yeah.
And watching film.
Yeah.
And getting on that field.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Wow, you really did that one.
I know.
That was a great analogy.
Thank you. That you did it, but thank you. So the first thing we're going to talk about today is vendors getting back to us in a timely manner.
Yes.
And how they get back to us in the same way. Because I'll start. We have some vendors that, you know, there's routine emails. When you hire someone on, especially like full-time or partial, you start emailing and trying to see who's...
Hey, are you available?
Yeah, who's available
That's how
for
it
the
starts.
day. There's a good amount of vendors we work with that just email us back. And then
Like
there's
normal
people. And then there's a handful that ring ring. Hello. Hey, I got your
caller
email.
you have been trying to get in touch with is no longer available and doesn't want your business.
Beep. Literally, they call you and they're like, hey, I got your email, but I just want to talk to you about it. And I'm like, you got
I
my
like that
email?
voice.
Thanks. It's the one I do for my dad.
It is.
Hey, I got your email. I just wanted to give you a call and tell you this. All of it could have been in an email. It all could have been in an email.
Or there's just ones that you never hear from and you're like, how do you stay in business?
They never talk back to you. You have to actually harass them.
Yeah. One of the first things we learned here is sense of urgency.
Yeah.
Respond. Or you snooze, you lose.
Yeah. You either get it or you don't. Like,
and we're like
and
knocking on the door
ways.
with money, basically. Hey,
yeah.
do you want to work?
Literally, I don't get it. And like, if you want to, these clients are willing to pay. You can have some steady streams of income if you just answer your email.
We have some vendors, though. Shout out to JP, because this is who I'm talking about. He's the best. He'll literally see our email pop up as a notification on his phone, and no matter what he's doing or where he's at, he will literally respond within a second. Yeah. Even if he can't give us the answer right then, he'll literally be like, hey, got it. Like, I'm driving right now.
Oh, yeah.
Or
That's
whatever
the beauty of SMB. There's some kind of, like, urgency, probably because they know.
But we respect that because it's
okay,
like you see it, you know, we're not wondering about you. You know what I mean?
No. I'm so thankful for those kind of vendors, but, you know, those are
our favorite. Those are like, I mean, I tell my brides, I don't know about you, but like, if they have a good vendor team, I'm like, you really have a good team.
It's going to be easy peasy. Yeah. Like, there's nothing to worry about even on our side of things because they have such good vendors.
And that doesn't just come from like an easy day of, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like
the whole process. They know that they're going to be getting that timeline that they can follow. They don't have to do it themselves. Like, that's one of the things that a lot of our favorite vendors love about us is that we take a few steps out of their process for them. A lot of people, we hear about it all the time, like from like DJs or something. They're like, oh man, it was great working with you guys because usually I'm the one sending the bride down the aisle. I'm like, what?
Or photographers.
Your DJ's supposed to be playing like Love in This Club, not sending you down the aisle. Like, what is going on?
Right? Or, I mean, we hear from photographers all the time we don't work with. They're like, I'm usually the one that if they don't have a wedding planner, like I turn into the wedding planner.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I couldn't imagine.
Those people
how
get
are you
lucky.
getting your pics?
No. But this ties into our clients. Please, for the love of God, listen to us when we talk about good vendors, because
this is the worst.
It's not like, and I feel like a lot of people probably think you are suggesting these vendors to us because you get a benefit or you.
When half we don't, though.
No, we don't. We are suggesting these vendors because we've worked with them. We have experience with them. We know how they work, what they value.
I think there's very, very, very few that I can think off the top of my head. I don't even know if there's any on our preferred vendor list that we get $1 from it by preferring them.
No, we really don't. So actually, you get a discount from using them.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
But we don't just throw that list out there. It's like, oh, like, you have to work with these people. No, we want you to work with these people because these people are the best.
Yeah.
And we know that they're the best.
And that's just kind of like...
because we love you.
The only reason we advocate for them is because if you're bringing someone in, and this happens relatively often of like, I feel like mostly with hair and makeup people, because some people around here, like they've gone to the same hair girl their whole lives, and they really want her to like do their wedding hair. Well, that's great, but does she do weddings?
Right.
Has she ever done a wedding? Does she know that she's going to be having 7 girls want their hair done, and you're going to have to hire her in addition to an actual hair and makeup person for the rest of your bridal party? Like, it's crazy. Or like caterers. I have
a bone to pick.
Go.
I just feel like the thing that we're talking about now.
Yeah.
The whole preferred vendor list, like obviously it's your wedding day and we want you to be happy with who you pick and all of those things. But like, I feel like a caterer is not one to mess around with. Like,
no, it's not, because
like, please take my advice.
Yeah.
Please.
Anyone who has ever been in the restaurant industry or done catering, like, I'm so sorry, first of all. I used to be in the restaurant industry. I know you did, like in high school, college.
Which I think everybody should, honestly.
I think everyone should, first of all. But
yeah,
there's a sense of like timing. There's food safety. There's like all of these things that go into play that mom and pa down the road that have never done a wedding before and they're just bringing barbecue. They don't know all of that. They don't know that they have to, oh my God. Do you remember that rehearsal dinner we had that we had to clean up after the caterers because they had never done anything, a wedding or a rehearsal dinner or whatever before.
And
so
like,
they just
if you don't know, like the caterers, they clean up their things.
Yeah.
And they take the trash out.
Yeah.
Like that's just,
we don't do that.
101.
And actually, like
it's in our contract that we don't clean up. But like at the same time, we're not going to leave the venue trashed.
No, I'm not going to leave your grandma's backyard full of paper plates and barbecue sauce.
And then that's just another bridge that we would be burning. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and now, personally, like the food was great, but I'm not going to use them again because even when I talked to them about like, hey, could you take the trash out? Like this is something that, I mean, I said it in the most nice way possible, but I was like, this is something caterers do. Basically, like, you got to take the trash. They're like, we don't know where the dumpster is. No, we'll figure it out. And so then I walked away.
Meanwhile, I'm having a 12-hour day and I'm lugging this trash bag that's just leaking chicken juice all down my back and I just want to die. I'm over it. I'm like, this is a joke. Get me home.
I wish this was a joke. I wish
no,
this
that's
never
actually
happened.
really happened.
No, this has happened. Those things always happen to Caroline because Caroline has sidetracked, but Caroline has this thing called the too much gene. She will stay, and this is a good thing. She's a great planner. She will stay until the ends of the earth for everything to be done.
Oh,
but
your feet hurt from doing your job. Let me do your job too.
Yeah, no, like she will be moving a 8-foot farm table by herself.
And Dallas it'll be to the point where Dallas is like, we're leaving. Our job is done. Stop asking people things because they're going to say that they need you.
Pretty much every time. Pretty much every time I work with
she's like,
Caroline,
okay,
I'm like, we got to go.
let's wrap it up.
Because again, other vendors will use and abuse the wedding planner, man. Like some of them.
Back to catering.
Yeah, back on track.
I do feel like having a caterer that is the shit. Like I have the highest respect for them.
Me too.
Like 100%.
It's
like
if you can make good food and get it out hot and like have servers and I mean, there's only a few around here that are successful at doing that without being at a restaurant or at a hotel.
Yeah.
Like the caterers around here.
I love it.
Shout out to Inlet Affairs. Y'all are awesome.
I was literally thinking of them in my head. I'm like,
they deserve a shout out.
I'm daydreaming.
I was thinking about
Affairs.
that strawberry bruschetta the other day, and I was like,
they have the best team too.
They do.
They're always so friendly. They are so efficient. They're just.
And this is why we don't bring mom and pa with barbecue because they're not going to be the same way.
I love Mom Paul's barbecue.
I do too.
Are they going to get it out? Are they
Do
going
they
to not
even
run
have
out?
an email address? No. I had to text them.
Oh, God, that gets me too. I'm like, what?
Let's talk about texting with vendors.
No. No.
No.
Please don't call my phone. Don't text me.
I'm not going to pick up. Unless
you can
it's the week.
email me.
Unless it's the week of the wedding day.
Oh, for sure.
Or the week of the wedding day.
Or wedding day. I'm probably texting them on wedding day.
Oh, I'm blowing up
for
the
sure.
phone.
But
everyone expects that. But I don't
answer you through text message. You think I'm gonna I'm in my email 24/7. Live, laugh, love, breathe email.
Yeah.
So please email.
Shout out to Network Solutions.
Period. Sponsor us.
.com.org.
Actually.
I just can't do the texting thing. Like, I don't want to see your pricing brochure through my text messages. I sure as hell am not going to send it to my bride. Because you know what that opens? Pandora's box.
Adore.
As soon as you start texting, it's over, girl. You're not going to hear from them in email ever again.
No. You know what I can't stand? Actually, I have a catering story. This was one of my first ever weddings that I was a lead.
Oh, wait.
So I'm just an itty bitty baby in a big pond.
Yeah.
I'm so scared.
So scared.
I'm just doing my job.
Just doing her job.
It's raining. I'm like, oh my
God. Oh, God. I forgot about that.
So I'm like, okay, I'm going to go talk to this caterer, I'm going to go whatever. And I forget what the actual situation was, but it was a couple, and they just start barking at me. Mm-hmm. And I'm like.
A couple at the wedding or the caterers?
The caterers.
Oh.
And I'm like, what's going on? I'm like, I literally just asked a question. I really don't know. I was asking and I was either asking about if they, I don't know what it was because it was a while ago, but.
It's probably about timing or something. I mean, the only time we talk to the caterers is for hey, they're about to do toasts. Are y'all still serving appetizers or whatever?
Something about that. And they just completely flipped a switch on me. And I was like, I think I asked them about trash. Because I was just trash. As soon as we're done, at a certain part of the day, we're thinking about shutting down and it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
So I think it was about trash. And they just go off on me. The freaking wifey's doing her thing on the fryer, giving me tood. And then the dude is also giving me tood.
These aren't people we work with often.
No. And I'm just holy shit. And I had to get my things together. I think Peyton was at this wedding doing content, and I cried. Because one thing about me, you yell at mama, she's going to cry.
It's just you get frustrated. It's a frustrated cry. It's not a scared cry. And I also
felt like I wasn't expecting that.
There was no reason for them to yell at you, whatever the situation was.
No, so I'm like, oh my God. So of course I tell mother, AKA Sarah McCall. And she's like, what? So yeah, I haven't worked with them since. But I just felt like it was just don't be rude. Don't be rude to your vendors.
Don't be fucking rude.
Don't be fucking rude.
Bleep that.
Don't be bleep.
Don't be bleep rude.
But yeah. And then, I don't know. I could talk about this all day because it just annoys me.
I know.
But you tell me a pet peeve of yours with vendor communication.
Oh my God. This is a rarity, but the whole automatic reply, it is so annoying.
Yeah,
even if you're on vacation, I'd rather just not know.
Well, that's the thing too, is I feel like as an office or company altogether, we don't ever put our automatic reply on unless we're in Vegas working.
Yes, yeah.
Getting married.
Yeah, I did put it on for when I got married.
But you're getting married.
I was getting married.
Or if you're going to be out of the office during the week for a few days because it's during the week. You know what I mean?
I had my automatic reply on one time, and in the office that week, the week prior to me setting the automatic reply on, Sarah had said, "I hate that shit." And I was like, actually, I've never done that in my life. But with vendors, it's
But why is it on all the time?
Yeah, and it's basically what it says is, most of the time what it says is, please give us 24 hours to reply or something like that.
At that point, just fucking turn it off.
Yeah.
24 hours.
That's normal. I don't expect you to, honestly.
And it's honestly kind of like a false hope. You get that instant email back, because we do have some vendors that will email us back instantly, and we love them.
Yeah.
But then you're like, oh, it's just another automatic email.
Yeah.
Keep it going. And then you don't hear back from them for forever.
No, you're not going to hear back from them. In fact, you probably have to send a follow-up email, and then they say, and then you send a follow-up email, and in that email, in that automatic reply, it says it's going to go to the bottom of their email list.
That's wild.
What? What if that was a bride?
Yeah.
What if that was a client trying to spend $1 million, and you're going to tell them that they're now at the bottom of the list?
Yeah, that is wild.
What? Like, if that's your process, because, sure, if you're the last person to email me, it's 4:30, I'm leaving the office, I'm going to email you tomorrow morning, I'm not going to email you tonight.
Yeah, respecting business hours and having an automatic reply on 24/7 and feeding your clients and your vendors excuses is totally different.
I don't like that.
Like, we can be jam-packed and not get to you within our business day because we're still dealing with other things that we're trying to complete.
Hopefully
we're not ignoring you.
Hopefully everyone knows that you have multiple clients, there's multiple things.
No, they don't
going
all
on.
know that.
That's some tea for later.
That's another episode.
Literally.
No, yeah. I can't stand when vendors give you an excuse all the time. I have worked with multiple different vendors in multiple different categories that have, like, I haven't been able to hear from them. I have called them. I have texted them. I have sent them follow-up. And I have the bride who's like, okay, but you said you followed up. I'm like, girl, I did. And I am.
I promise you I did.
Ring. Text,
calling.
nothing. And then it's like, oh, but the only time they answer you is when they have an excuse not to talk to you. Mm-hmm. I can't stand it.
I don't like.
I can't.
How do you have business?
Like, okay, go enjoy your vacay. Okay, I'm so sorry you're sick. Okay, I'm so sorry about travel. I'm so sorry about this. But holy shit, why are you only answering me when you're telling me you can't talk to me?
Or when they cancel a meeting the day of the meeting.
That's just a slap in the face.
We have brides come out of town, and by out of town, I mean we're a destination.
I think a lot of us are destination. Like,
a lot of our locations are destination. Yeah. But I think most of my brides right now do not even live in this area. They live in the furthest, New York.
Yeah.
And they travel. Can't just come down for a week. I mean, when they come here, it's for meetings. Yeah. And for if you weren't available, schedule a Zoom call, because at least they can do it from their house.
Yeah. I mean, but it's just disrespectful. They spend they have jobs, they have lives.
And they already have to come here on a weekday. Not on a weekend, because wedding vendors don't work on the weekend. We work on the weekends. That's why we can't do meetings on the weekends.
We have weddings on the weekends.
But like, I've said like so many times I need to stop.
They just spend their time and their own money because they want to hire you.
Yeah. So
and you're not going to answer, and I can't.
What is an appropriate amount of time for a vendor to respond?
48 hours.
Yeah, I agree. If not, I'm going to be calling you. Or I'm going to be following up.
And I think, like, give or take with that, in my opinion, I think if it's, wedding season and we're absolutely slammed, if we're slammed, we know that our florist is slammed. We know that our caterer is slammed.
Oh, God, yeah.
And when I say, like I know we're kind of shitting on everyone right now by saying, like, oh, you need to answer us. But, like, at the same time, I feel like when we're actually in the season and we're grinding that hard, we do have a respect for them.
Or they let us know.
Because we see them.
This week is, the week of Valentine's Day.
Yeah.
Our florist let us know, hey, I got your email, or I got your call, I got your text, but it's Valentine's Day. I'm not going to be able to answer anything. Right. I'm not going to be able to do anything.
Or,
now.
Literally on wedding day, like, it could be April 20th, and I have a bride that's blowing me up about her wedding on October 3rd, and I'm like, girl, give me a second. That florist is going to come to me, and she's going to say, hey, Caroline, I got your email, and I'm working on it. It's just been a really crazy few days. And in my head, I'm thinking, oh, I know.
Yeah.
I know, but,
I've been there. Hey.
They don't get that. No. You know what I mean?
No, you can't. You can only see one side of the story.
So I feel like we do respect that. Like, we respect that leniency a little bit. Yeah. Because we're dying too. Yeah. We're barely breathing.
But not to just keep shitting on vendors, but I have to go back to the unprofessionalism. Facebook is not a website.
No.
Facebook is not your website. And every time I send a website, you know, for partial or even for full, when you're sending them options of people they could work with, like I said, most people are from out of town, so they don't know anyone. I don't want to send them your Facebook when there's another vendor right next to you. You might be better. I might love this vendor, but the vendor next to you has this beautiful website with like so many examples and photos and everything. They're going to choose them.
Yeah. I've fought for a vendor that didn't have a wonderful website, and I was like, listen, they're amazing. You're going to love them. And then the client turned them down because of the website. And I'm like, and went with another person because of their website.
It sounds like we're exaggerating, but if you're going to go to a restaurant, for example, if you're going to a restaurant and you are like, I want to see photos of the food, and there's no photos, and the restaurant doesn't even have a menu up on Yelp, you're like, oh, I'm not going to go there. Yeah. I mean, it's the same thing. If you can't see the product, you're not going to.
And we totally get that everybody has to start somewhere.
Oh, for sure.
For sure.
There's some people who have Facebook websites who can afford to have a website, just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. No shade if that's your first step. You go, girl. Kill it. Rock it. Love you, Pookie. But
what is that quote? No hate, no shade, no pink lemonade.
Oh, period.
You ever heard that?
No.
It's from Drag Race.
Oh my gosh, wait. This just made me think of a time with you.
Wait, when?
Do we have telepathy right now?
I think so.
Yeah, it's a crazy story. You were looking out for your vendor, and you ended up getting
shot in the back of the head.
Yeah,
Abraham Lincoln style. I literally, I can't. Double homicide. I'm always going to be looking out for my vendor. People have to understand that you have to pay people for them to come to your event. You have to pay people.
Yes.
Whether that means that you sign a contract saying you're going to pay, or you have payment plans.
You got to pay your vendors.
You have to pay your vendors.
Like, that gets me. I don't know what people think this is.
I don't know. I had a client last spring, and I'm not going to specify, but basically they hired a vendor last minute, and he was working overtime trying to provide his services for this wedding.
Happen. He also is a very trusted vendor with our company. So
and he pulls strings for us all the time, from Charleston to here. I mean, all over the place. So he's great.
Very
reliable. And he was really doing me a favor, basically, because we have a good relationship with him, and that's the importance of it all. But anyway, he was hired on pretty last minute. They decided they wanted his services. We were lucky enough to get them, and he was like, hey, before we do anything, I have to travel. I have to book a hotel. I have to, pay for gas. I can't do this for free. And even though, of course, he has money to pay for it, it's the principle of the matter of, I don't really want to come to this wedding.
You can't call your mom if you don't pay your phone bill.
There you go. And so he was just he was definitely being persistent with me, and I was like, I'm trying, I promise I'm trying.
Yeah.
Since we had hired him on, I was trying to get him paid, even a contract signed, and I couldn't. And I get that my clients were stressed, there was a lot going on. Yeah. But you wanted this, you had enough time to figure out how to hire them. You've got to figure out how to pay them and sign this contract. So day before the wedding, they had not paid. And we had done rehearsal, and I asked them once more, and then at rehearsal, and then I got a midnight text.
I get a phone call from Dallas. I am in bed, tucked away like a little princess. By the way,
I had already tried to call Sarah McCall.
And I get a call, and I'm like, the vibes are not vibing. I answer, and she's freaking out, and I'm like, what? I had never gotten something like this in my life. For you.
I got a drunk text at midnight.
You are not his boo. He should not be texting you.
Mm-mm. Not but the day before your wedding day when you can piss me off.
Not in those.
I cannot show up, by the way.
Not in the drinking hours.
Yeah. And it was a very, very forceful and mean text that had all the situations in the text had already been resolved. And I think he was just drunk, and he had a lot to say. And he
had the confidence to say it.
By he, I mean text. The groom.
Yeah.
Let me preface that. I'm not going to say what was in the text, but he was mad at me for
no reason.
Well, I mean, I was asking him to pay for do something on the night of his rehearsal dinner. So like I could
But you asked him at like an appropriate hour considering they tried to hire that vendor on week of.
Yeah. So that said, it all worked out. But for the love of God, just pay the people that you want to be at your wedding. Otherwise,
also, on that note, don't disrespect your vendors.
Don't yell at me.
Yeah,
I can't take it.
I don't think people understand that having a wedding is a luxury.
Having a wedding planner,
having all of these professional vendors show up for you and your wedding day and bend over backwards. Yes, it's their job. But it's also, this is a luxury and you need to treat these people with respect.
I'm not a blue collar girl. I'm not fixing your toilet and I didn't break it. I am running your wedding. I'm a pink collar girl. Don't yell at me. I'm like a fun, I don't have to be here. Like,
right. I'm like, yeah, don't yell at me. And don't cuss me out at 2 a.m.
Oh God. It's so traumatizing to talk about.
That was crazy.
It's not normal. It's never happened before. I mean, usually that if anyone's going to yell at us, it's usually way prior to the wedding.
Right. But still, even there, they don't get it.
Even there.
But the best, I will say the best in a worse situation, in my opinion, is when you have a client that is just giving you trouble. It may not be the bride. It could be, family members or whatever. And it's just making it difficult for you to do your job. And your vendor team has your back like no other. Mm-hmm. That is the best thing in the whole universe. Mm-hmm. Like, wow.
Whenever we work with, for example, Caroline's bestie in the industry is Anna from Brookgreen. She's been on this podcast before. And Caroline had a nightmare wedding at Brookgreen. I actually ended up telling her, go home.
Dallas kicked me out of my own wedding. She said I had us on a mental break. I literally...
Not good. But
yeah, no.
Anna is just so sweet and supportive. She's isn't she the venue manager or
she handles all things at Brookgreen with weddings and
pretty much everything. She's a superhero.
9,000 candles, all the things.
Everything. And she is so supportive. And I basically gave her a rundown of like behind Caroline's back. Caroline's like running rehearsal or something. I don't even know where she is.
I'm getting bullied at rehearsal is what's happening.
And I go over to Anna and I'm like, listen, this is what's been happening. And she's like, So then Anna starts, not harassing the crowd, but like, let's just say someone was doing something that wasn't allowed on property. She was
enforcing the rules.
She was enforcing the rules in a way of having a vendetta against them.
Yeah.
But she also just like hugged Caroline and she was like, it's gonna be okay. Like I have your back. If anything happens, they're out. Like
the next day at the wedding, she looked at me and she was like, honey, are you okay? Yeah. And I was like, ooh, oh my gosh, you guys probably think I'm crazy. I've cried twice on here.
Caroline has gone through it with some clients.
This past season was absolutely, I will say, made me a better wedding planner, made me wonderful at my job, and I can handle anything. Bring it the fuck on, bitches. Yeah. But it was crazy. It was a crazy. The things we had to do to get there.
Yeah. Whew. Mama's been through it. She was dealt some cards that should not be dealt anywhere else.
But I will say, the vendors in the process couldn't have done it without them.
Yeah, true.
100%.
Exactly. Thank you. Shout out to all of our preferred vendors.
We do love you for real.
All the people we work with all the time. We do it for a reason. So thank you. I think that concludes our episode.
Are we done already?
We're probably going to sit here and rant for another 30 minutes after this.
Yeah.
Dissect every situation a little more, but thank you so much.
I don't want to be done. Okay.
Oh, okay. Do you have anything else?
No.
Okay. Do you want to wrap us up? Thank you guys so much for watching and listening. Make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Music, wherever you get your podcast, and follow us on Instagram and Facebook. Hire us for your wedding, your mom's wedding, your grandma's wedding,
your sister's wedding, your baby shower, your birthday party,
your bat mitzvah,
your concert,
your fashion show, anything.
Yeah.
We'll do it all. Have a good one.
Love you. Mwah.